What's up, guys? Welcome to the post-game show, Florida, Georgia, 2020. For those of you who have missed the game, it kind of went down like this. Georgia jumps out first play from scrimmage with an 80-yard touchdown run. I think it was 80 yards, I'm not quite sure, but it was the first place from scrimmage. 80-yard touchdown run, and as a Gator fan, you're sitting there thinking, oh shit, Todd Grantham's D. This ain't the same defense that showed up against Missouri. It's the same defense that played in the first three games. We're thinking we're in trouble. In the back of your mind, you're probably saying, oh, we got to get rid of Grantham. Here we go again. But then they get a deep pass over the middle. Hit delivered on Stetson Bennett, but it is a touchdown. Bennett gets rattled. And for the rest of the game, it's kind of smooth sailing. The defense tightens up. We start playing well, but the reality is, in my opinion, it wasn't the defense stepping up that won us this game. It was Georgia's inexperience and inaccuracy at quarterback. They completed only 9 passes this game. It was for like 100 and something yards. Absolutely ridiculous. They couldn't hit the ocean from the beach. So reality is we caught a lot of breaks on defense. That's just the truth of the matter. Are we getting better? Absolutely. There's a lot to look forward to in the coming weeks, but the defense has some things to work on. There's a few kinks, but I do like what we see so far. There's a lot. There's a lot of upside. Truth is, Trask had a record-setting day. We'll get into that a little bit later and we'll go over the stats of the game. They are quite impressive. But for now, I just kind of want to take the time and caution Gator fans a little bit because the crystal ball is kind of projecting Florida to obviously win the East, face Alabama in a tough matchup, and possibly even the college football playoff. But I want to caution you guys because it's quite clear that Georgia's got their tough part of the schedule out of the way. I don't see them losing a single game the rest of the season. As far as Florida, we're not quite in the same boat. We still have Tennessee. We got Arkansas next week. We also have Kentucky, who's a tough defensive team. They can't seem to move the ball, but if Joey Gatewood starts doing some things, that could be a trap game. And of course, LSU, that is now at the back end of the season because it got postponed. That's a tough game. That's by far, I think, the biggest question mark. They have a deadly offense as well. And that's definitely going to be a shootout. Hopefully for us, it doesn't end the same way it did when we played Texas A&M. So with that being said, also I want to say, Gator fans, the players, they can't have that mindset. Everybody's going to be hyping you up, saying we're going to win the East. If the Gators actually start thinking that way themselves, we could be in trouble. There's 2 games in there we could easily lose if we decide to overlook them, or if we come out lackadaisical and have a bad game. We just got to lose 2. That's it. So we need to focus on the game at hand, week by week, and realize that we don't have a safe lead on Georgia. Not only that, if you want to play for the college football playoff, there's zero room for error because a 2-loss team will not get in. End of story. Like I said, Georgia's not going to lose another game the rest of this season. One more thing real quick. Here's a fun stat for you. I should have actually done my research and got an exact number. But I want to say for the last 15 years or so, between the Florida-Georgia rivalry, each team has alternated 3-game win streaks. And the most recent, obviously, is Georgia for the past 3 years in a row. Today, we kind of set the trend straight. It's still trending in that direction. Florida has got win number 1. So the big question is, can we get 2 more wins in the next 2 seasons? That all depends. And another thing, keep in mind, recruiting right now, there are no visits. So no recruits are visiting, so these games mean a lot more to these guys. So how big was this win for Florida? And so, with recruits such as Xavier Sori, who's going to be making his decision soon, how big was a win over Georgia? Does that factor in his decisions? If we can start winning these recruiting battles that have Florida and Georgia in their final two or three, that could be huge and easily put us in the top five. I just want to say that if Florida starts getting the same talent level that Georgia has on their roster and starts winning these recruiting battles, it's all over for Georgia and Kirby Smart. I don't have my hands on the injury report just yet. It's a little too soon for that. Might want to tune in a little bit later on YouTube. Mullen will be having his post-game press conference. I'm definitely going to be watching, but one thing's for sure, we do know that Pitts got hurt on a targeting play over the middle. He missed the entire second half and may bleed into next week. I would like to hope that that play wasn't by design by Georgia. It looked vicious. I'm hoping that's not the case, but clearly they knew without Pitts they would have a better shot at defending Florida's offense in the second half, and that was the case. Florida was not nearly as good on offense in the second half. They also started pressuring Florida a little bit more, and Kyle Trask threw a bunch of errant throws, which were not quite like him. So I would like to see that get cleaned up a little bit. And two of them could have easily been pick sixes. Also, Georgia had a ton of injuries, way too many for me to even try to count. So unfortunately for us, that means Georgia fans are gonna be able to play the injury card, and I probably would too if I was in their shoes, to be honest. But tons of injuries, and honestly, of course, I would want to beat them when they're fully healthy. I never want to see somebody go down like that, but I'll take the win. A win is a win, and it's been a long time since we've been to Atlanta. Also, Gene DeLance, right tackle, and Stewart, the offensive guard, also went down with injuries. Not quite sure of the extent of it just yet. Let's check out the box score, see how the game went, just to give you a better idea. Florida had 571 total yards of offense compared to Georgia's 277. 474 passing yards, 112 for Georgia. If you would have asked me or told me before the game started that Georgia would only have 165 rushing yards, I would definitely have said we won. Florida rushed the ball for 97 yards. The first half seemed like we were going to be able to run a lot more. That kind of fizzled out, especially with the rain. I thought we were going to be in trouble because anytime it's raining heavy like that, it favors the rushing team. And Georgia clearly has the edge when it comes to running the football. But the story of the defense would be third down efficiency. Florida was 7 of 16 on third down. We held Georgia to 2 out of 13, which is nuts. We only punted the ball 3 times. Penalty yardage was pretty good. Only 3 penalties for Florida, as well as Georgia. 0 fumbles lost. We threw a pick. It happened to be a pick 6. Georgia threw 3. Time of possession, we also killed it. 36, almost 37 minutes compared to 22 minutes. That is nuts. Let's take a look at some individual stats here. Kyle Trask setting records, 474 yards, 4 TDs. He becomes the first player in SEC history to have thrown for 4 TDs in 5 straight games, and I believe he's only thrown like 3 picks on the year, possibly 4. Correct me if I'm wrong. Dameon Pierce, 15 carries for 52 yards. Malik Davis, 9 for 21. Nothing special going on there, but receiving is where it gets interesting. The 2 running backs led the team in receiving yards. 5 catches for Malik Davis for 100 yards. Naquan Wright, 3 for 71. We kept running those swing routes, swing patterns out to the flats and beyond, and it worked all day. They had no answer for it. It didn't even look like they tried. They're too worried about Pitts and Tony. They did do a good job on Tony. He was held to 7 for 42, no touchdowns. Kyle Pitts had a decent day given the lack of targets. 2 catches for 59 yards and a score. And then as soon as he goes down with the targeting call, Kamar Gamble steps up in a big way in Kyle Pitts' spot with an immediate touchdown. He got 3 catches for 51 yards. I'm sure you enjoyed watching this Georgia ass whooping as much as I did. Keep up with me throughout the week. I'm going to do some homework on Arkansas. Felipe Franks comes back to town. So look out for that video. Hit that subscribe button so you can get notified when it's out. It's great to be a Florida Gator. We'll see you later.